Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, June 25th, 2019. I call this meeting to order. I declare a quorum is present and the media has been notified. Now, hear a motion to approve the agenda.
Made the motion.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Ramsey, a second by Ms. Littleton to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. This is the public hearing of the 2019-2020 General Fund budget, which is required by state law of South Carolina. We have had 2 budget workshops, 3 Finance Committee meetings, including a special called Finance Committee meeting. And later tonight, we'll be hearing a final reading of the budget. So I would like to invite Ms. Ashley Smith to the podium to make the public presentation of the budget for 2019-2020.
Good evening, Chair Wofford, members of the board, Dr. Ingram, and ladies and gentlemen of the audience. The board held 2 budget workshops and 1 additional Finance Committee meeting and determined the 2019-2020 priorities. The board had extensive conversations to ensure that the priorities were in line with the concerns of our teachers and our principals. These priorities are listed here on this slide. No increase in millage. Based on the current calculations from the county, the school district rollback millage for operations is estimated to be 151.8 mills. Teachers in the classroom and school safety, salary increase for all employees, additional teacher supply funds, a second grade class size reduction, and additional positions in the district to include mental health counselors, social workers, elementary resource teachers, special education assistants, and maintenance staff. At the last Finance Committee meeting, the board discussed the additional revenue in excess of the original projected revenue. As we discussed, the county will be working on the rollback millage until the tax notices go out. After several discussions, the latest calculations indicate an additional $10 million over the original projected revenue. The total tax revenue projected to be received is $18.6 million. We are also expecting $1.9 million for fee in lieu, $1.2 for Tier 3, $6.6 in state aid to classrooms for the 4% of the teacher increase, a reduction of $2.2 in state aid to classrooms, or EFA, but offset by $2.4 million for growth of students, and $991,000 for the 1% mandated retirement increase. Our total projected revenue for the 2019-2020 year is $29.7 million. The requests from our schools included additional nurse and EMD supplies, additional funds for travel, additional media and library books, special art allocation funds, and bookkeepers. We are funding 31 additional bookkeepers in elementary and middle schools with students over 500 students. This slide shows a breakdown of the district level request by department, which totals $1.6 million. Our total expenditures for 2019-2020 total a little over $31 million. The expenditures include a 6% increase for all employees, which is an estimated cost of $14 million, $1.9 million for the 1% retirement increase, $4.4 for 59 additional teacher allocations, 25 teachers for a class size reduction for a ratio of 21:1 in the amount of $1.9 million, 17.5 elementary resource teachers for a ratio of 20:1 in the amount of $1.3 million, 39 special education assistants for $1.2 million, 5 assistant principals, and 3 administrative assistants for $786,000, additional allocations for growth in the amount of $525,000, the 31 bookkeepers, an additional $100 for teacher supply checks. Teachers currently receive $275 in August, and this will increase to $375. The school district level request shown on the previous slides, and an increase in our property insurance of $350,000. Our total projected revenue is $29.7 million and $31 million in projected expenditures. This will leave an over-budget amount of $1.3 million to be funded from fund balance if needed. In addition, another $1.15 will be set aside in fund balance for our OSHA department to ensure all employees have been provided with the Hep B vaccine. The total 1920 general fund budget will be $322,330,676.
I would like to say thank you. I know a lot of people have done a lot of work to put together a $322 million budget. We spent a lot of time talking about the additional $30 million, but there's a lot of work that goes on before we're talking about the additions. I would say I'm most proud of trying to identify what teachers have given us as feedback and what principals have given us as feedback, and being able to fund those things. And I think I could speak on behalf of most of the board to say this is what we have dedicated the last couple of months to, is putting money into the things that are most important and funding the things that teachers and principals are telling us. Thanks to Dr. Ingram for lots of work to get us to this point, and for the staff as well, Dr. Whitley, Dr. Gelman, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Smith, and I also know Dr. Wolf did a lot of work to help us get good recommendations for the ratios. Very excited about second grade. I wish I could do third grade and fourth grade and fifth grade. We'll just have to go one grade at a time. But I feel like we've hit some of the really peak points that are really important. And then to reduce the resource allocation from 33 to 20, I'm very, very excited about. And I think any teacher that I've talked to, no matter if they are special ed or not, really saw the huge caseload of 33 to 1 for resource. Reducing that to 20 makes me very excited. So thank you for your very hard work. I'm very pleased to take this to the full board. The Finance Committee got to meet and talk through things last week and get feedback through this week, which has been very positive. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments for Ms. Smith?
Just would second everything that Sally said, but also understand that we've been conservative as far as spending money from the very beginning. And just like Ashley was conservative, so was Eddie and the whole staff as far as looking how we could save money. And then so were all of our teachers, all of our principals, all of our people have pretty much been a spirit of tightening their belt and trying to be thrifty with money. So the whole process, just like Sally just said, was we anticipated that we would have additional revenue even when the budget was first put out there. But the whole thought was that we wanted to make sure. So even when some folks might question and say, well, where did this money magically appear from? Or are we going to now overextend ourselves where we cannot continue to do this going forward? My answer would be no. We are not overextending ourselves. We have done a lot of thought in this budget, a lot of effort, a lot of going back and forth. And just as Sally said, we tried to identify what educators were telling us. And as I anticipate, next year we will have the same spirit and the same thought process, but even try to do it better, even earlier and sooner as we continue to work on the budget. But I just want to thank everyone, because it's really been a team effort as far as the whole school district, and I just wanted to publicly state that I recognize the effort that the school district has put forth. So thank you.
So I think I would be remiss not to also thank the county. The county really engaged with us in one of the most positive engagements that we've had between the county and the school district, at least in my time serving on the board, where we had multiple calls, face-to-face meetings, so we feel confident about the reassessment, that the rollback millage is 151.8, and things that we can be proud of, but also, to your point, numbers we feel very confident in. So thank you very much for everything. We are excited. We want this to pass and get on to the next thing, which I'm sure there's more work to do. So up next will be...
Madam Chair, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't congratulate ourselves on the wonderful pay raises that we've given our teachers and staff. And
I'll say 6%. I don't know if I've ever gotten 6%. 6% is very exciting.
well, it actually goes back to last December, where there was a 2%. And then the state mandated 4%, and then the board additionally in the budget now is a 2%. So if you add those up, that's 8%.
And I was saying there was 1% at the right to so we're close.
At the beginning.
1% at the beginning, so you're pushing 9.
But there's actually more than that, because there's a step increase for teachers that are between 1 and 28 years. That's almost 2%.
I'll just call it 12%.
So you're looking at a 9 or 10% raise for most of the teachers in this district, and I'd like to congratulate ourselves on doing this for our teachers and staff.
I would say the people that are most important. Thank you. Next up, so this is the state required meeting. It is the public hearing. So up next is public comment on the budget. And no one registered on public comment. Excellent. So no one showed up here tonight, so I think normally that's an indication we're doing all right. We have spent a lot of time, and everybody isn't here. It's hard for people to get here at 5 o'clock, but we don't like the staff to have to spend the night here, so that's why we were here at this time. But I think we've all spent a lot of time trying to get feedback from folks so that we put a good budget on the table, which would be why there isn't any more public comments. So for that, we will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Conder, a second by Mr. Ramsey to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.